Imagine waking up to a world transformed. Everyone is a billionaire. The air is filled with a sense of excitement and possibility. The streets are alive with the hum of activity as people embrace their newfound wealth. Bank accounts overflow with unimaginable wealth. Poverty is eradicated. The joy is palpable as people realize they no longer have to worry about financial struggles. The weight of debt and economic hardship is lifted. A new era of prosperity seems to dawn. Cities flourish with vibrant energy and marketplaces buzz with activity. Smiles are abundant and the future looks brighter than ever. But is it truly a utopia? Beneath the surface, questions begin to arise. Can this newfound wealth sustain itself? What are the long-term consequences of everyone being a billionaire, or are there hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface of this newfound wealth? The initial euphoria is undeniable, but shadows of doubt start to creep in. The initial euphoria is undeniable. Dreams can finally become reality. People celebrate with champagne, families and friends come together in joy, and individuals achieve milestones they once thought impossible. People rush to buy luxury cars, designer clothes, and exotic vacations. The demand for luxury goods skyrockets, and everyone wants a piece of the high life. But this spending spree is the first tremor of the earthquake to come. The frenzy of consumption hints at deeper issues that are about to surface. The very foundations of our society begin to crumble. The infrastructure that supports our daily lives starts to show signs of strain and decay. Why work when you're already a billionaire? Factories fall silent, farms lay fallow, the motivation to work diminishes, and productivity plummets. The intricate machinery of production grinds to a halt. Supermarket shelves empty, and the once thriving economy begins to falter. The dream of universal wealth reveals its darker side. The world becomes a giant shopping mall. People ravenously consume, driven by years of pent-up desire. But supply chains, already strained, snap under the impossible demand. Shelves empty faster than they can be restocked. Luxury goods become commonplace, their allure diminished by ubiquity. A diamond necklace loses its value when everyone can afford one. Status symbols become meaningless in a world of uniform wealth. Yet the true cost of this spending spree is far greater than empty shelves and devalued luxuries. It's the collapse of the very systems that sustain our civilization. Hyperinflation sets in with terrifying speed. Trillions become the new billions, then quadrillions, the numbers too large to comprehend. Money, once a symbol of value, becomes worthless paper. A loaf of bread costs billions. A gallon of gas is a luxury few can afford. The intricate web of the global economy unravels, leaving behind chaos and despair. The very concept of currency, the bedrock of human civilization for millennia, is rendered meaningless. We have entered a new age, one where survival depends not on wealth but on something far more primal. Cities, once bustling hubs of human activity, descend into chaos. With no one to deliver food, collect garbage, or maintain essential services, urban life becomes untenable. People flee to the countryside seeking self-sufficiency and safety. But the knowledge of farming, of living off the land, has been lost to generations of urban dwellers. The collapse of civilization is not a sudden event, but a slow, agonizing decline. It is the unraveling of the intricate tapestry of human interconnectedness, leaving behind only isolated threads of survival. Bartering for survival. In the absence of a functioning economy, a more ancient system of exchange emerges: bartering. Skills and resources, once measured in dollars and cents, now hold the true value. A doctor's expertise becomes more valuable than any amount of gold. A skilled farmer can trade their produce for tools and shelter. The world reverts to a system of direct exchange where human connection is paramount. This new world is harsh and unforgiving. Those with skills essential for survival thrive, while others struggle to adapt. The old hierarchies of wealth may be gone, but new ones, based on necessity and skill, quickly emerge. A new economic order. Yet from the ashes of the old world, a new economic order might arise. One not based on the endless accumulation of wealth, but on contribution and collaboration. Imagine a system where people work not for profit, but for the betterment of their community, where doctors heal, teachers educate, and engineers build, not for personal gain, but for the common good. This is not a utopian fantasy, but a pragmatic necessity. In a world where everyone is equally wealthy yet equally vulnerable, cooperation becomes the key to survival. The pursuit of individual wealth is replaced by the collective pursuit of well-being. Innovation without profit. What happens to innovation in a world without the profit motive? Would scientific breakthroughs cease? This question has intrigued economists, scientists, and thinkers for decades. The common belief is that financial incentives are the primary drivers of innovation, but is that really the case? Would technological advancement grind to a halt? Perhaps not. History provides us with numerous examples where innovation thrived without the lure of profit. Throughout history, many of humanity's greatest achievements were driven not by greed but by curiosity, passion, and the desire to make a difference. Think of the great inventors and scientists like Nikola Tesla, who was more interested in the possibilities of his inventions than in their commercial potential. The Renaissance, for example, was a flourishing of art, science, and culture driven by patronage and the pursuit of knowledge, not profit. Artists and scientists were often supported by wealthy patrons who valued the advancement of knowledge and culture over financial returns. In a world where basic needs are met, people may be free to pursue their passions, to explore new ideas without the pressure of turning a profit. This freedom can lead to a more diverse and rich landscape of innovation. To innovate for the joy of discovery, to push the boundaries of what is possible simply because it is exciting and fulfilling. To create for the betterment of humanity, not just for personal gain. Imagine a world where the brightest minds are focused on solving the most pressing issues, not because it will make them rich, but because it will make the world a better place. The potential for human ingenuity, unburdened by the constraints of profit, is limitless. When people are motivated by passion, curiosity, and the desire to contribute to the greater good, the possibilities are endless. The future of innovation could be brighter than we ever imagined. Redefining luxury. In a world of universal wealth, the very definition of luxury would be transformed. Material possessions, once coveted for their exclusivity, lose their allure. True luxury becomes about experiences, about connection, about personal growth and contribution. Imagine a world where the greatest luxury is not a diamond necklace but a clear night sky unpolluted by city lights, where the most sought-after experience is not a private jet ride but a deep connection with nature and community. This shift in values from material possessions to experiences and connections could lead to a more sustainable, fulfilling, and ultimately more equitable world. Utopia or dystopia? So, would a world where everyone is a billionaire be a utopia or a dystopia? Imagine a society where every individual has immense wealth at their disposal. On one hand, it could mean the end of poverty, the eradication of hunger, and the availability of the best healthcare and education for all. But on the other hand, it could also lead to unprecedented levels of consumption, environmental degradation, and a new kind of social inequality. The answer, as with most things, is complex. Wealth alone does not guarantee happiness or fulfillment. It does not solve the deeper issues of human existence, such as the need for purpose, connection, and meaning. In fact, an overabundance of wealth could exacerbate these issues, leading to a society where people are more isolated and disconnected than ever before. It would be a world of both immense challenges and extraordinary opportunities. The potential for innovation and progress would be unparalleled, but so would the potential for conflict and division. The disparity between those who use their wealth for the greater good and those who use it for personal gain could become even more pronounced. A world where we would need to redefine our values, our aspirations, and our very understanding of what it means to be human. We would need to ask ourselves what we truly value. Is it material wealth, or is it the richness of our relationships, the depth of our experiences, and the impact we have on the world around us? The true test of this hypothetical scenario lies not in the equal distribution of wealth, but in our ability to adapt, to innovate, and perhaps most importantly, to overcome the instinct for competition and dominance that seems so deeply ingrained in human nature. Can we learn to collaborate rather than compete, to share rather than hoard, to build rather than destroy? Even as billionaires, we would find ways to stratify, to create hierarchies, to elevate some above others. The human desire for status and recognition would not simply disappear with the advent of universal wealth. In fact, it might become even more pronounced as people seek new ways to distinguish themselves from their equally wealthy peers. Absolute equality, it seems, will always remain elusive. No matter how much wealth is distributed, there will always be differences in how people use it, in their ambitions, their talents, and their opportunities. True equality is not just about wealth, it's about access, opportunity, and the ability to live a fulfilling life. The human condition, it appears, is a tapestry woven with threads of both unity and division, and even unimaginable wealth cannot alter that fundamental truth. Our challenge, then, is to find ways to weave these threads into a pattern that enhances our collective well-being, rather than tearing us apart.